To the untrained eye, that might look like a working gauge. No such luck. Welcome back. This is meant to be the follow-up video to my last absolute disaster, where I celebrate the successes and the pains that I went through to get this thing working. Unfortunately, this week has been one of primarily family and work rather than this work, and therefore I'm not much close to getting it working, albeit as you can see it is installed. It is speaking CAN bus to my battery management system. It is receiving data and it's displaying data on the screen. To get to that point, I had to solve multiple continuity issues, flaky connections, bad transceivers, power issues with power not getting to the battery modules properly. The 5 volts to the battery modules wasn't getting through because of bad connection. I mean, more just irritating issues than I can possibly mention, which meant that to get through it all, I had to not JFDI, but DI-DFI. I'm coining that one. Do it, don't film it. Something I'm sure any sort of person who puts stuff on YouTube will recognise. Sometimes you have to just stop filming and just get stuff done. So it shows 3 things. Notionally, state of charge, 100%. Sounds good. It's not accurate. I don't know why it's not accurate. It could be something to do with the gauge code. It could be something to do with the BMS code. The delta and the temperature, I don't entirely know how it's calculating those, because there is a series cells fault showing on the BMS every time it starts up, because the BMS is not recognizing all of the modules at first when it boots up. The reason for this, I think, is that the CAN bus isn't working brilliantly on the modules. I did try increasing the delay when the BMS starts up so that it's got more time for 5 volts to get to all the modules from them to talk back to the BMS. That didn't do anything, even with a 10-second delay. I think what it actually is I never actually tested the resistance on the CAN bus. I just assumed that by replacing the master module with my BMS, that the resistances would still be all correct. They are not. There is clearly somehow 2 terminating resistors, I think, in the BMS master. The way that the wiring for the BMS and the BMW modules is laid out, they effectively daisy chain rather than having spurs off to each module, and then it comes back with 2 connections, so 2 CAN H, 2 CAN L at the end of the loop, on each, or rather on each end of the loop, if you like, back to the master module. I think there must be 2 terminating resistors in there. So I need to add a terminating resistor to get the resistance down to 60 ohms. And I'm hoping that that solves the problem, but I haven't had a chance to test it yet. And it turns out I've run out of 120 ohm resistors. So I've got more of those on the way. So, not the video I was planning to make, a very short one where I just explain some stuff rather than show you anything. I thought I'd have it all sorted by now. I thought I'd be showing you self-charging, but clearly with that BMS issue, the car is not going to self-charge. I've solved some other issues along the way. I had the software was connected to, or was looking at the wrong pin for it to enter charge mode. I've had a flaky connection issue with my brake booster, slightly concerning because I was driving my mum around in the car at the time. Yeah, all sorts of junk has got in the way of actually making any real progress. And now, of course, it's pouring with rain, because it is, as ever, a wet day in the north. So I'll call it there. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's not more exciting on this one. And yeah, catch you on the next one. If you like and subscribe, I may even make the next one better.